Yeah. He's I think he's busy, so he can't make it.
Okay, cool.
Odysseus, really? Like
Okay,
the Iliad or the Odyssey? I mean, wow.
Yeah, he
I just spilled water all over myself.
he reached out to me
Horrible.
after I did this one interview. He wrote this one book, Shadow Awakening.
Ooh.
So it talks about just shadow work, shadow integration, all that stuff. So I've been in contact. I've been holding off on reading his book because I've just been kind of scared of reading it.
Oh, well, you're doing something. That's why. It's okay.
Sounds scary. Ann, how you been? Oh no, go on, dude. I'm sorry. Go on. I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were still. That is
Can't
cool.
wait. Please tag me when you tweet it.
Yep.
And you mention it. You can mention it on this show, obviously.
Start tagging us, Nicholas, and we'll start tagging you back. That's the only way to crawl through the X creature now that they're calling it X. You know, we got to crawl through this creature's belly, but you know, it's there and we use it, right?
My background's not changing. That's the weirdest thing.
Uh-oh. Are we going to have the puke green wall all night, OP?
It's possible.
Thanks, OP. Oh, man. Wow. What a crazy whirlwind day.
She can pull it off no matter what.
Thank you, Ann. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, OP, all we need is your brain.
Ooh, my brain is here. You want my heart.
My brain is here this week too.
Good.
The last time
What's been going on, man? How you been? I haven't talked to you at all.
Very crazy, you know, just crazy. Had a sick dog for a while. She was in the hospital, you know, taking yeah, she's better, thank goodness. She had some kind of thing going on in her stomach, but you know, caring for the mom, company, planning trips. So
busy.
It's busy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Some of these people. All right, I'm gonna have to try to do something here, guys.
Okay.
I got to get over to Twitter and help out Ginger.
Okay.
So, Ann, this is Nicholas. Nicholas is a reporter, and I think he's a bright young star. And he's going through a little bit of recovery himself right now. So, Ann, Nicholas, and tell him about yourself.
Well, I retired my counselor license quite a while ago, but I worked for a program for about 11 and a half years. Went to school, got my degree in chemical dependency counseling, moved to Florida, and kind of retired, I guess. So I went through, when I started working, I worked with men and women, and then I worked with women. And then I was promoted to a supportive living program and was a counselor for that program. And then a couple of years after that, I actually started to run the program. So I have a little bit of knowledge. Saw a lot of really great people who got their lives back together, and some failed, but you know, it was pretty, I don't know. I'm glad I did it. So, you know, I hope I helped some people. I think I did okay. I think the clients felt comfortable with me, which was nice. So that's a little bit about myself.
Yeah.
Nick, what got you into the truth movement and everything?
Nice. Right. Okay.
Gentleman,
Mark Passio.
yeah, I'm watching this gentleman, Paul and Slave, in he talks about like the licenses.
We have an echo now.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure
what
if
happened?
me. I'm not sure. Is it just me?
No,
Everyone?
everyone. Tom came in and we echoed.
It's
Me?
Tom.
I'll come back in.
What it is. I'm gonna tell him to come out and go back in. He left rather abruptly. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
This is crazy. I'm so sorry, guys. This is so disheveled. I'm just not in my regular place.
It's okay. We'll be good.
We all deal with this crap.
Well, the important thing is that we're doing it.
Yep.
I wonder, you know what? You know what else changed when Tom Cooper came in is I rolled my window up a little bit. I might not be able to do that, right?
Oh, would that cause? I don't know. Yep. Yeah, there's
Let's
no
see here.
going.
I just rolled up my windows. Both
No,
of
it
them
has
are
something
rolled
to do with Tom's settings, probably.
up. Okay. I got two more guests waiting here. We got Tom Cooper, add to stream, add Ginger, add Chris. Okay, we got a full house going on here. All we're waiting for. What's up, everybody? Let's do a sound check. No echo?
No.
Are we good?
We're good.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
It's 8 o'clock. I think we're going to bear with me here. Wow. Chris, I lost my internet and I'm in my truck doing this from the phone. I'm not going to have the normal introduction. You guys got to introduce yourself.
Tom, I'm
okay.
sorry, not Tom. Angry Tiger, maybe if you can get anywhere
Yes, ma'am.
closer, like verbally, if you can get closer to your mic, it would be better.
Okay, how's this? Is this better?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, very good. Okay. All right, all right. I think we're ready to roll, and I'm going to go live.
Behold the venom produced by the head of the snake. Gaze upon the fruits of its propagation of the global war machine, commiserating its empire of destruction and misery as it slithers throughout the globe, bringing megadeath and agony to all. Beware the head of the snake. Stay vigilant, my friends.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for spending your time in the Tiger's Den. We will try not to waste it. It is Wednesday, July 26, 2023 AD. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our monthly addiction episode. And I just want to let anybody who's listening or sees this in a rebroadcast, I want you to know that sometimes you're struggling with an addiction, or you're just struggling with life, and you feel totally alone. Nobody cares about you. Nobody understands your problem. No one's there for you. And I want to let you know, since I started doing this, and I started doing this monthly addiction episode, that's not the case, because there are people who want to do this, not because they want to get on the screen, not because they want to get clicks, because they genuinely want to help people, because they have a love for their fellow human being. And I have a very special conglomeration of guests this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to thank them all for coming. And this is something that I believe is definitely worth the while. They're spending their time because of their love of humanity, And if you're alone and you're out there and you're feeling that way, there are, you know, what do we got here? We have 7 people on this screen, 8 people on this screen who care about you. And I hope you can feel that as you go through this episode with us this evening, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, I am going to let everybody introduce themselves. I had a technical error and I have no power and I'm in my truck. So we're going to start. I'm going to go from right, so, you know, all the way down to the bottom. Starting with Nick. Can you introduce yourself for everybody?
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Nicholas,
My name
I'm
is.
sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's all right. My name is Nicholas Peter Ugero. I'm 30 years old. I live in Illinois, and I definitely used to be a sex addict, a gaming addict, porn addict, cannabis addict, also cigarettes, on and off. Like I've kind of gotten a little back and forth with some of these things recently, but overall, I've been, you know, on a much better path than I was before.
Nice. Well, dude, thank you so much for being here. OP, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello. Good evening. I'm the occult priestess. I'm the basement girl. I have been in many basements in my recovery life, doing 12 steps. And also I'm a counselor of over almost 30 years or over 30 years. Yeah. So that's me, occultpriestess.com.
Nice. Ginger, you're up.
Okay. Let's see. Retired clinical psychologist. Retired my license because mental health has become rather cult-like and I no longer fit in mental health. But I've been at the intersection of psychology and the law my entire adult career, which at this point is over 40 years. I'm looking forward to providing life coaching in people's homes in the very near future in the Central Texas area. As a result of having retired the license, I can no longer diagnose or assess. But, you know, why do we need diagnoses? For insurance reimbursement and for medication. Neither of which, because once you go with your insurance company, you've got an electronic medical record, and that's subject to potential hacking. And HIPAA, I won't go there except to say HIPAA tells you all the reasons the government can access your records, leaving out the fact that any electronic medical record is subject to being hacked. So this is just information that is beyond what the government and anybody else needs to know. So I'm going to practice in a way that makes more sense to me personally and is more consistent with my personal values.
Nice. Nice. Thank you so much for coming, Ginger. You're a great value to us in the show, and we all love you. Mr. Cooper, you want to introduce yourself? Thank you for having me.
What's up, everybody? I'm just an old school tweaker, man. Yeah, I had a drug, whatever comes along with tweaking, that's what I was into. So, thieving, sex, whatever.
I'm sorry, I don't know the slang. What is tweak?
Methamphetamine.
Hey, bounce, stop. I got an 80-pound pit bull trying to crawl underneath my legs because he hates the thunder. Oh my goodness, it's going to be interesting tonight. Sorry, Tom.
No worries, dude.
But hey, Tom, dude, thank you for coming. You're one of the staples here, and I want to just thank you, dude, for coming. I mean, and again, all these people, ladies and gentlemen, they care about people. They care about people. And would you like to introduce yourself, ma'am?
Sure. My name is Ann Christ. I'm a retired substance abuse counselor. I live in Florida, and I was honored to be asked to be on the show and hopefully help someone get back on the right track and have a better life.
Ann, thank you so much. She's being a little
Very
humble.
well
She's my
said,
co-conspirator on putting this show together and helping. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have been able to pull this together. So, Ann, I want to thank you for that. Mr. Graves.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm a recovering human being.
That's awesome.
I have all the demons that most people have, and probably a lot more. And I'm happy to be here. And if this can help someone, then I'm glad to be a part of that. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming, Chris. I really appreciate it. Adam, dude, thank you so much for coming. I want to say, I mean, Adam has never been on my show. I haven't really spoken to Adam, and he came because of the topic. So thank you, Adam. Introduce yourself, please, brother.
Yeah, thanks for asking me, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm always here to do this kind of stuff. My name's Adam. I do a podcast called Deborah Gets Red Pilled with my mother-in-law, Deborah. And we're on a little bit of a hiatus right now, but we'll be back in a big way soon. And yeah, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and then whatever else is around kind of guy. My first love is yellow American beer. I can give me a 12-pack of High Life in 3 hours. I can really mess my life up. So I'm just one of those basic old dudes like that. As of July 9th, I have 11 years sober, and yeah, just happy to be here. I'm not really that active in recovery anymore. I go to church a lot, but I spent, the first 5 years of my sobriety in a lot of church basements as well, like the occult priestess said. And I owe my life to AA and the fellowship. And if anybody ever comes to me and says, I can't stop drinking, I don't know what to do, what do you think? That's the first place I'll recommend to somebody. So, that's it. That's it for me. Yeah, I live on a farm in Oregon, and I'm just living my life. Thanks, guys.
Nice. Thanks for coming. It's an honor to have you here, brother. It is. You do great work, and everybody's familiar with your work, and thank you for coming. What we've been doing, guys, for everybody who's new here, is we went over the 12 steps, and we went over the cognitive therapy kind of rational way for recovery, because there's so many different kind of recoveries. And then OP brought to the table something that was super important, which is the codependency, right? And there's so much to addiction, and that's why I think having this many people on and this many perspectives is a great help, and one of the things that I wanted to go over that I finally have been waiting. Is it okay, OP and Ann, if we touch the power process a little bit on this episode? What do you guys think of that? And then we'll go from wherever, right?
Since you gave me an in, I want to tell you, Occult Priestess, with everyone here, we're live on Rockfin and YouTube, and I think you guys are live on Rumble. And Ann got a shout out from Jason Barker, and Claire Bear is in the chat too. So, yay, people!
Thanks.
All right, thanks. You know what? I'm watching the chat, but I think it's messing my stream up a little bit, so I'm going to get out of there. But thanks for monitoring the chat, OP. That's awesome. So I, one of the things with my addiction, I was addicted to crack cocaine and kind of like almost anything, alcohol really wasn't a big addiction, but it was always around. That would usually trip me up. If I was clean for a while, I'd drink, and then that would be it. Off to the crack house I went. And so with that being, after everything was done and I had gained my soul back and I had gained my mind back, after several years, because we all know this does not happen overnight, right? This is a long healing process, and you have to be patient with yourself too, when you're going through this. But I'm like, why did this happen to me? I want to know why, and I understand the disease theory of it all, and that was part of the reasoning. I took some of that, but I didn't accept that as 100% reason for why. There had to have been more.
Just
There-
that
this-
now
this is
that
a symptom
theory,
of the deeper problem, right?
they're saying that you're allergic to alcohol and that's why you're an alcoholic.
Right.
Is that the actual theory?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, she's being facetious.
Oh,
That's the theory, dude. That's the trust
But
the
in a
science,
nutshell, yeah.
dude.
I got you.
Trust the science.
Yeah, in a nutshell, yeah.
All right, I got you.
So I was reading somebody's work one day, and I ran across this thing called the power process. And what I found in this was this person equated any deviant behavior, including addiction, from being rude to addiction to us being removed too far away from our natural activities. So as a drug addict, I always, when I was fiending or wanting my drugs, right, and you're thinking about wanting those drugs, it's a Pavlovian craving, right? You're driven to this addiction. It is like being hungry or looking for water. It's very similar. And I kind of thought about that. And when I removed myself from being addicted and put myself in a more natural state, I like the outdoors. I'm in the outdoors a lot. And I noticed that helped me. I garden, right? I do all of these things. And I noticed that my power process is another part of the whole point. We as humans in the postmodern society are not fulfilling our mental and physical power process. We're not living naturally. We're leaving holes that need to be filled because we're not challenging ourselves enough the way we're meant to be challenged throughout the day, like we would if we had to survive in a more agrarian manner. So I believe that, and this person wrote that power process not being fulfilled creates a lot of these deviants. And I believe that, these deviant behaviors, because once I started fulfilling my power process, I walk 5 miles a day. I make sure I do that, right? Or I'm physical enough where I'm tired during the day. I make sure I read enough stuff where my brain is tired during the day. I talk to all you people with your big brains, right? I'm fulfilling my power process, and I'm a happy person now. I don't even think about doing drugs. So what do you guys think about that? It's a real quick synopsis I gave you, but we'll start, like I said, we'll start with Nicholas and we'll go all the way around. Nicholas, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely has a part to play in it. Absolutely. Like me myself, when I've just got back into video games or like just trying to pass the time, a lot of it definitely has to do with trauma that I haven't worked through. So that's why getting more into shadow work and shadow integration, going through my traumas, all that stuff. There's a lot of self-destructive behaviors and thought patterns that I've had that have also linked to that I'm definitely aware of. I have to dig even deeper in that, but definitely not doing what's fulfilling. So if, like, for me, creating content or doing editing, or like you were like giving the example of gardening, I love doing that. And reading, all these other things. I definitely think you're on the right track with that. I definitely think that's accurate.
So I'll go ahead. I think Angry Tiger might be frozen.
Or he's just staring us down.
Saw ya. I'm hoping
Here comes.
you get back.
Yeah, say it again, Franco. Oh, he is frozen. All right.
So somebody brought up in the chat that nature always helps, and that's Claire Bear. I also agree that he went back to nature, the ultimate healer, our mother. We have animal bodies. We are spirits in the material world in an animal body. So the animal loves nature and the nature loves animal. That's it. We will stay here. If Angry Tiger pops out, we'll still be here holding the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Ginger.
Are we back? Are you guys?
Well,
were you guys able to continue on without me?
Yeah.
Good. Keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna just let you guys go, and when I think it's good, I'll come back in.
I think the disease
Are you guys good?
model.
Keep going. Yeah, go on without me. Act like I'm not here, guys.
I think the disease model is consistent with the broader cultural narrative that we see today, and that is an abdication of personal responsibility. Whether it's criminal behavior, whatever it is, it's point the fingers in any direction other than yourself. But the problem is then that leaves you not being master of your own destiny. If you are, it's as if you're a ship adrift on the ocean without rudder, sails, or power. It's a disease, so I can't do anything about it. And I think that this techno-corporate government that has taken over our constitutional republic, that's exactly what they want people to think, that you rely on the government, you're not responsible.
So I guess I'll jump in there.
But in terms of addiction, right now, I think personally, I meet criteria for addiction in terms of these diagnostic entities, which I've already said I have an issue with. But social media, because of this isolation, being in a rural area, I spend hours on my phone every day. And it's 100, we've had heat indices up to almost 118 degrees. So the idea of going out and grounding, being out with the livestock, absolutely not. So, I see addiction more as the rut. We are creatures of habit. We get into ruts. And even though it may be a miserable rut, it's our rut. And it feels normal over time. And it takes a concerted effort to break ourselves out of the rut. And right now, for me, that's social media, without a doubt. I'm hoping the weather breaks so I can begin to get out and get back to living. But 117, 18 degrees, forget it.
Thank you for your confession, Ginger. We appreciate you.
Tom?
I don't really have anything to say right now.
It's Ann. It's
Yeah.
Ann.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I kind of look at, I'm not saying that I agree with the science, but I take that word disease. When you break it down, it's dis-ease, right? There's things going on, whatever that might be for you. And I think, a lot of times people have no purpose and they're dealing with all this stuff. After a while that you kind of feel, depressed, low self-esteem, and really everything about recovery has everything to do with the body, mind, and soul, as far as I'm concerned. So, it's being able to find a purpose. And even for myself, since I retired and I moved to an area far away from my lifelong friends, it's been very difficult, that transition. You have to have a purpose. And, even though we complain about our jobs, for years and years and years, oh my God, I have to go to work. Once you don't have that, it's really a hard transition. So just to share my own personal, I had to find things. I don't know very many people here because I'm not working. I live in Florida, so making friends is difficult a little bit because a lot of people where I'm at are snowbirds. So you might meet somebody and then they're gone. So for me, I've always liked to draw. So my purpose is sometimes being creative. I have dogs, I take care of them. They help me feel like I have a purpose. Of course, I have my husband, the biggest purpose for me anyway. But, you have to have direction, and we all need direction. And I just want to go back. I love what Chris said. I'm a recovering human being, and I think that goes for everyone. We all have things that we have to work on, and we all have things that we need direction. We need someone to help direct us. So that's where the rooms, because I'm a advocate of the 12-step programs. Even if you veer off later, that's kind of a great foundation. You meet people, you learn how to stay away from some people also. So I just think it all has to do with body, mind, and soul, having a purpose, and finding what that purpose is for you.
Nice. I missed a lot, I think. You guys were able to continue. I'm very happy.
So we've got Tom, Chris, and Adam.
I'm not sure what we're trying to talk about here, to be honest with you. I've never done a 12-step recovery, anything. I quit cold turkey. Yeah, I probably relapsed.
What did you do to handle it, though? How did you quit? What were your coping
What did I do?
mechanisms,
I
brother?
smoked a lot of marijuana. That's what I did.
Okay, so there's the lesser harm theory that I would love to get everybody's opinion on.
Like
What
harm
do you guys think of that? If Tom's smoking meth, right, and he can switch over to cannabis and live a functioning life, what do you think of that?
I don't think anyone here has a problem with plant medicines. So we've got Chris and
Nicholas,
Adam.
what do you think, man?
I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I kind of feel as well. Like I've like going from like porn, and then I'm like thinking about like playing video games. Like, oh, that's not even close to as bad. You know, I'd much rather do that than do something that I'm like shameful of. Like this, I'm just gonna be like, you know, disappointed in myself. I'm not gonna feel terrible about it. So like I've used that exact same, you know, mindset and kind of strategy, I guess, of just doing something that's not as bad. But for me, I definitely know there's still some core things I got to work on internally for me to, you know, not even feel the need to go into that arena again.
Harm reduction, you know, works for some people and it doesn't work for others. So I think it's just like, depending on the individual, how it works. I mean, some people might quit drinking and using and then decide, okay, I'm going to do marijuana management. And then they find themselves back to using the harder stuff. So, but I know there are people who do fine, you know, with the marijuana. So I think it's individual, like everything else.
Absolutely.
I think it's exercise, meditation, eating right, and doing good things for other people, because that's going to make you feel good naturally anyway, right? And it's
Yeah.
going to make you feel like less of a crap bag if you have issues with yourself, or if you hate yourself. If you're doing something that's selfless for other people, that's going to fill holes right there. And if you basically you got to have a strong mind. I don't know about. I've heard about the disease theory, and I just think you have to build up your mind, and everything, even like ailments with your body. I mean, it kind of all starts with your mind. I mean, and the way that mental health gets treated in general with the stigma and everything is just pretty horrible. Because if you've got a strong mind, you can overcome it quite a bit. So if you need other things to help you on, that journey of not screwing up all the time, then that's good. But if you got strong mind, eventually you have a strong body if you work towards it and you work at it. Make sure you're not. I mean, look at me. I'm a big fat guy, so I'm sitting here talking about, yeah, you got to eat right, you got to exercise, you got to have a strong constitution. I've seen people that have recovered that's all they really needed was just a strong foundation under them, regardless of what their past was, if they had trauma or, parent issues or whatever. But if you have that stuff, you can overcome that stuff. That doesn't have to define who you are for the rest of your life. So excuses is not something that you should really use as a crutch. But that's my soapbox.
Thank you, Chris.
I guess it's my turn. That's part of the issue I kind of had with some 12-step stuff is the whole disease thing. But I also used to be able to quote the big book a whole bunch. I can't really anymore because I haven't really been into it for a while, but I think it's pretty much explained there that it's a spiritual malady that's manifesting through a physical addiction. And I totally agree with that. And they talk about a God-sized hole that people have in their body and filling it with everything else to make themselves feel better. And none of it works. It'll work for a little while for some people. It never worked for me. I suffered immediate consequences. I also had the desire to drink immediately removed from me when I decided to stop drinking. It wasn't my first time to try to stop, but when I did, it was gone. I've never been tempted. I worked at a bar the whole time in early sobriety because I had to make ends meet. My coping mechanisms at that time was cigarettes, red vines, Coca-Cola, a lot of coffee, drinking so much coffee that I have freakouts, and it's all better for me than being drunk and in jail. And just being sober early and figuring out how to interact with the world in a sober manner, how to talk to girls sober, how to be friends with other men sober, and all that stuff. And that's what 12-step programs did for me. As of now, I got to stay busy. I hit the floor in the morning. I go, I'm a Eastern Orthodox Christian. I go and I pray for 30 minutes in the morning. I go out and I start doing chores, and I go all day. My wife comes home. I cook dinner, and then we watch a little TV, and I read conspiracy stuff at nighttime. That's my routine. There's no days off out here, and but yeah, I think the key for me at least is just being responsible to something bigger than myself. And I think that AA and all the 12-step stuff definitely wants people to get into having some form of a god figure in their life. Doesn't have to be the sky god or anything like that, and mine wasn't in any of my time in AA. But as far as like the marijuana maintenance or people that can just quit cold turkey and maintain that was not my experience. I know a lot of people that did it, and then I have no problem with it. There was a time in my life in sobriety when I would have really looked down on people for that, but there was a time in my life when I would have talked about people who leave AA after in that whole 5 to 7 year window and then go out and use again because they think they can do it responsibly and die and stuff like that. You hear all those horror stories, and that's what I did, and it wasn't my experience as well. So yeah, that's what I've got on that.
Okay, so we've lost an angry tiger and a ginger Kinsey. My internet kicked me off, she says, in our private chat over here, if you look. And so he was going into the power process, like how did you recover from your specific issue? And I think we might have covered that. Well, now that I'm here, I'd like to ask, how did you do with your fearless inventory? Writing down and understanding every wrong you've ever done in life, and then coming to an atonement with that. How is that process for you guys?
You want to go from left to right again?
Sounds good.
Well, honestly, I haven't personally done something like that. Like I've done journaling for a couple of years, but I haven't done, like an actual detailed list of, things I've done wrong or wronged somebody or something like that. And
now you're going to be interviewing a man who works with shadow work. Can you tell us more about shadow work and how you will incorporate this into your shadow work?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be interviewing this gentleman, Odysseus Andrianos. He has a book called Shadow Awakening, The Dawn of Human Potential. And I'm going to be having him on my show on Monday in the evening. But yeah, the shadow work, that's something that I've definitely been applying with journaling. Like that's one example that he gives is just doing journaling as a form of, picking out different things throughout the day, maybe something that's triggering you, whatever else, being curious about those triggers. And then just, just delving deeper into that, taking your own time. Of course, it's a case-by-case basis. Some people can like breeze through this stuff. Some people it might be a little bit more difficult. But journaling is one of those big things. So that definitely helped me out when I was doing that for a period of 2 years. And it just gave me a lot more insight. So like in terms of like my porn addiction, for example, like I was able to, I already knew some of the things in my past, but I wasn't able to put it all together in like a much more like clear picture. So like my dad being also a porn addict, me and my brothers finding that stuff when we were younger. And I mean, I've also already admitted this online a couple times, so I'm not afraid to share it here. But like when I was like in 7th grade, my second oldest brother, he was just a couple years older than me. Like we actually did some stuff too, like me and him together. And it wasn't like it was forced or anything like that. So that's what's also very like off-putting about it when I think back at it. So that didn't help me out. That got me kind of confused as well. But yeah, being able to look back at all that stuff, I had a much clearer picture of like what was causing me to be like that, like what hole it was filling. You know, it just made me feel better. Like I had low self-esteem. I wasn't successful with women, all these other things. I could really like have a better understanding about that stuff. And even though there's been some times where I have looked at that stuff again, in the recent like past, I haven't, you know, gotten to the point where it's like a problem, and I haven't like been the source of my own orgasm for like 2 years now. So I've been very blessed to be being that way, because like at the end of 2020, I was a wreck. Like I was so depleted of energy. I was a shell of my former self. I had brain fog all the time, no self-esteem. And I was able to find out, oh, that brain fog was because I was getting so much dopamine all the time that my frontal cortex wasn't even working properly. So I was able to really link all that stuff together. So journaling for me was very, very important, and just being honest with yourself. I know a lot of people that have been able to like just convince themselves that something that's happened was not their fault or this or that. And I've never had that, you know, ability to do that. So for me, it was a curse at the time, but now it's a blessing because I can really have a lot more awareness and be more honest with myself, know when I'm deviating from what I should be doing, what I really find fulfilling, even then, like recently. And yeah, I guess that's it for now.
Well, hot damn. Do you have something to say to that, Anne? I mean, wow, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
that's like, yeah, amazing work. You know, journaling is a really great process. And honestly, you can just start out with stupid stuff like today I woke up, you know, and it's really amazing as you do that, the things that start to come up for you that you maybe haven't thought about, or, you know, it's back there, it's part of that baggage, and you're able to start going, wow, you know, that's something I went through. I didn't realize how much it impacted me, but you know, that's what happens in journaling. And as far as the like moral inventory, I think everybody could do that 100 times, a million times, all your whole life, because we always make mistakes, right? We're human. We screw up sometimes. We make poor decisions. So, you know, I don't know that.
Hang on a minute there, Anne.
Yep.
We do heal. So we won't be dealing with our own egoic BS forever. When I write in my journal, which I've been keeping for like 30 years, 40, no, wait, I was 12 when I started my journal. So whatever, I'm 49. You could do the math. But when I write in my journal, it's pretty happy and yay, this wonderful thing happened, or life sucks because of the government, or, you know, regular stuff. It's not because of my ego. And I want people to know that we do heal. We get over this. It's not forever.
We sure do. But there's always going to be stuff that we're healing from, I think. I mean, you know, you don't know what's coming in your life. I mean, things that will impact you. So no, I didn't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer. I just think that initially when you first start, you know, you have things that come up for you. And I think actually it is a lifelong process. I think that there's things that still trouble us, even though we heal. We can like look back and go, okay, I got through this. And, you know, it definitely is a positive thing to continue doing that. I mean, even if it's basic stuff like, you know, I was rude to somebody, you know, I shouldn't have been rude, or apologizing when you've said or done something wrong, because again, we're humans and we're going to have those things happen. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people heal. I've seen a lot of people just do amazing things in their recovery. So, like I said, don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I think just touching the people who may be just getting started on their journey.
Okay, so Ginger Kinsey's in the chat, and she said the focus on the biological avoids the importance of this psychosocial. And I think Angry Tiger's coming back in, and Ginger said she can come back in if Angry Tiger does. Okay, I guess we can't hear Angry Tiger. He is. Oh, darn it!
Hey, Tom, did we lose Tom too?
Yeah, I don't see Tom.
Yeah, so Ginger is most likely backstage. It says that only the host can see her. So
Yeah.
once he jumps back on, he'll be able to add her back up.
So I guess what I was saying is that the ego heals, and you're not such a selfish miser. Like, it changes, it evolves, and then your outlook evolves, and everything is softer and kinder. There's more love in your aura, in your body, and not necessarily coming from others. You're not going to control the world, but you can control this energy flow of love between you and heaven. And I believe that we can cure the ego problems, all of it, and there would be no more acting out. And it's really just a smooth ride. Now, will life clobber you? Me personally, yes. Yes, my aunt one day will pass probably soon, and that's going to be devastating. I'm preparing for it. You don't always get to prepare for things, but I'm telling you, when you get to a certain level of healing, you no longer have to dread the future because you're okay on the inside. You're totally cool. Anybody else wants to say stuff, please speak up.
Yeah, I'll go. I guess what the original question was kind of pertaining to the fourth step, right? Yeah, fourth step is a daunting task when you first come into the rooms, and I think that's what sends people that, most people that go to AA never do anything. They don't get a sponsor, they don't start working the steps. People that do start working the steps, I think the fourth step's probably what takes most people out. People are just so scared to get it done. Now, my wife actively sponsors women, and she has trouble with newcomers all the time. And
Hey, Adam, can you explain to the audience about the 4 steps so they understand? Thank you.
Yeah, fourth step is we've made a fearless and moral inventory of all our wrongs in life and everything like that. And then you go and you tell it to someone. Doesn't have to be your sponsor. It's usually your sponsor, but could be a priest, could be anybody. I've never heard of anybody that did it with someone that wasn't their sponsor, but yeah. And the way that they did it, there's all sorts of different ways that people do it now with lots of writing and journaling and all that stuff. The original way that Bill W. and Dr. Bob had it was just 4 columns that you write out, you talk about everybody you ever wronged, what happened, all that stuff. So, oh wait, am I getting fourth and eighth step mixed up? Sorry, it's been a while.
No, the moral inventory. I think that is the
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you just talk to people about it. Some people make you tell like sexual stuff. I don't know. But getting it done is just the best thing that people do. And as soon as they get it done, they build it up into this big giant thing, and then they just get it done. They have all these deep dark secrets. It's like, oh, I touched my cousin's dick at Hebrew camp or something like that, and like that'll take somebody out. They don't want to tell it, and then like the only thing that'll happen is like your sponsor will probably be like texting someone on their phone and not even care, or they'll start laughing at you, and that's it. And you never have to talk about it again. It's done. It's keeping your side of the street clean, and so that's that was my experience. And to people that sponsor people and especially sponsor newcomers, just let them get it done. Don't let them sit on it for months and months and months and make them take all this time to do it. Just let them get the first one done, get through the 12 steps, and then go through and do it again, and you can get more thorough every time. That's my opinion. You don't have to stick to it, but I think that's the best way.
Yeah, but in terms of giving away your deep dark secrets, yeah, I don't buy into that. If you have a close friend or someone you trust or someone that's not going to laugh in your face or whatever, because I've seen that before too, where And that's like a devastating thing. And that could actually trigger you.
So,
That
Chris,
could make
actually, you're bringing up a psyop. You're bringing up like
well, I'm not saying it that
churches
way.
that make you
Just
give up your secrets, and then
well,
they
I'm not.
blackmail you.
Yeah, but I'm not saying exactly. But I'm not saying it's kind of like with confession. Sometimes I've heard that being used against people before too. But I'm not even saying in a psyops in a conspiracy kind of way. In case people are watching or listening that don't buy into that stuff. I don't want to scare them off. But basically, if something's bothering you, to confide in somebody that you trust. That's a good way of having a weight lifted off your shoulders, because that'll definitely contribute to you doing things that are probably going to harm you, down the line or whatever. So that's always good. Just like I said, it's hard to find nowadays, which is really unfortunate, but someone that you can trust, and just the act of talking to them and just getting something off your chest goes a long way. That's, yeah.
I also think that, even when you're just writing those things down for yourself, like you're finding out, like, this is something that's troubled me that maybe I've blocked out. So I don't even necessarily think you need to share that. I think sometimes it works for you to just go, be able to see, oh my gosh, that's been there, and I've kind of like pushed it out, and it's been eating at me, whether I realized it or not. So I'm not like 100%, oh, you have to share all those things with somebody. I think you can, share if you'd like, of course, if you find someone that you trust. But I also think it's really about you. And, people go through years of, just kind of feeling shame about the things they've done, which, perpetuates the problem. Oh, I'm drinking, I'm a scumbag or whatever. So I think just identifying it and having some of those things come up and writing them down, and you personally seeing them in your words, helps a great deal. So
Like-
until,
like with a stream of consciousness thing in a journal, right? Because I've done that before too, and I've come up with stuff that I didn't even realize was buried.
right.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's what happens. You don't remember everything. I know that there's a lot of guilt and shame. And, just writing some of that stuff down, it just helps you identify it. And, you could cry, you can scream, you can stab your pencil on what you wrote. You can do all those things. And that helps, that helps in the long run. So I'm not like, I don't think you have to share that with people if you don't feel comfortable in doing so. I think it still helps you regardless.
And it's okay for us to agree to disagree on that, because I think you have
Sure.
to purge your soul, not necessarily beat yourself like some Christians do, but really purge your soul. And then you realize there's a click that happens. You realize it wasn't your fault. And that's a big deal.
Yeah, and to go along with like spilling some of your deep dark secrets with people that you trust, like for me that was something I needed to do, like, because there was some things that I had done that I felt like I couldn't tell anybody ever in my entire life, no matter what, because I was just going to be, I don't know, shunned out of my entire family, disowned, or whatever else. No one's going to accept me, and I turned out to be wrong. And luckily that was the case, where I did talk to someone like my mom and my girlfriend, and they didn't leave my side. They were there to help me out, and I had someone that understood. I didn't have to feel like I had to hold that in forever. Even if I wrote it down, it, for me personally, it wouldn't have been the same.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my personal, experience on that one.
It's shame. Shame is the big monster that's going to get you and eat you and destroy your life. It is shame. And when you say, okay, shame, I'm going to give you all my crap, everything I've ever done. Here you fucking go,
Yep.
Cussing, but it's a very passionate topic, right? So when you give it all out, then there's nothing to feel. The guilt is gone. It releases. And then you realize that you could have been a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see somebody there in the chat that says AA didn't work for me. And whenever someone would say that to me, it would come up that I was in recovery. The first thing I'd ask was, well, did you work the 12 steps with the sponsor? And then after you were done, become a sponsor and work the 12 steps with somebody else? Because if the answer is no, then you didn't do AA. You just went
Right.
and kind of hung out. So you kind of, unless you do that and say like, oh, I did all that and it didn't work, then you can say it didn't work. But most people can't say that.
That's a great point. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they didn't work. They didn't actually take the time and the effort. Then
It's just you're not doing AA. You're just kind of hanging out and smoking outside of meetings, which is better than drinking. But you didn't do AA.
AA has the best coffee and cigarette circles, dude. It's true. So Angry Tiger is trying to come back in. He's going to bring Tom, we hope, and Ginger with him. And we got everybody. So Occult Priestess, YouTube. You guys are on Rumble over at Angry Tigers, right? You're live on Rumble. Is anybody else broadcasting this? I'd like to shout out everyone's chats. Nicholas, where are you broadcasting from?
From my channel. It's just my name.
Does that mean YouTube or Rumble?
Oh yeah, it is on YouTube right now. Yeah.
Is there anything in your chat that you wanted to say?
I doubt it. Probably not. Let's see. I usually don't get many. I mean, I haven't really made videos in a while, so I'm sure it's not going to be. Yeah, it's just like one person that's on in there. Yeah, there's not a single comment. Not a big deal, but yeah. But hopefully later on people can watch it, and I'm going to put on BitChute and all that other stuff, so I'll get more traction there. But I don't have anything at the moment.
That's awesome. Well, I would like to give Anne the floor because I totally disagreed with her.
No, that's okay. I understand what you're saying. I guess I'm saying it's individual. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to think back, like when somebody might have been writing stuff down, and I know oftentimes we'd say, did you read it to yourself? Because I don't know if you've ever done that. That's totally purging, and you just start bawling when you're reading what you wrote. So I think it's individual. I do. If you feel that you need to talk to somebody and it's a safe person, I say go for it. I just think so much is individual and where people are at. Maybe in time you might write them down, read them out loud, cry, and then decide, well, maybe I can share this with someone now. So I don't know that anything.
So many really great books start that way, right? In the self-help areas, like, oh my God, my life, I'm devastated, and then they get better, and then there's the book.
You know what?
Because they kept a journal, right, Anne?
You know what, Anne and OP? You know what I meant to say? I should have just said this, and that I could have dropped the mic. To be honest, creativity is what does it for me. I don't even have to write out what my demons are. If I just express it in the characters that I'm writing in a story or in a song, like a metal song or a punk song, like just channeling negative into a positive through art and creativity. That's my number one thing. That's why I'm still alive, to be honest with you. So I don't know why I didn't just say that to begin with, but
that's awesome. That's great. I express myself a lot in art too. I draw. So a lot of things, I'm in my own little world when I do it, for sure. And yeah, it's very healing. So again, individual. I'm all about individual because we're all different and we're all in different places.
I've got a phone call from Franco. Hello, you're live.
Oh, great. Am I able to turn Tom back in?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I just, I'll try to close us out at 9. I just want to tell everybody thank you for coming. And I think we need to redo this, don't we?
Yeah, let's all do it again. And then also, what's your Rumble? Where are we broadcasting at tonight?
We're broadcasting on my Rumble at the Angry Tigers Den. We're also broadcasting on all TLP platforms, and you can find me there. And you can find my son's Substack, Angry Tigers Newsletter. Thanks, OP. And please give everybody the chance to let them plug themselves. I love everybody. Thank you for coming. I am very sorry. I'm out in a lightning storm. I live in a rural area, so the connection is horrible. And when I don't have internet, I really don't have anything at all. I'm standing in a certain spot right now just to be able to talk to OP. So everybody, God bless you. And Oh, Pete, are you guys going to end it at 9? I'll try to end it at 9:01.
All we have
I'll
to
try to end
do
the
is
stream.
everyone leave the room and it'll end on its own eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, that's how it's going to end, ladies and gentlemen who are viewing. So thanks, everybody. God bless everybody, and we're going to redo this for sure.
Yeah.
They're all saying stuff. Say stuff. He can hear you.
Thanks, Franco. Sorry that you're going through the storm and you weren't able to be with us. Just again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. It's very important to me. And I want to thank everybody on today also. Just appreciate the different perspectives. And as occult priestess says, we can agree to disagree. We all have, that's what makes it wonderful, is having all the different viewpoints. So thank you, everybody. And I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you, Ann. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, Franco, I want to.
It's
Oh.
Nicholas.
Nicholas, go ahead, man.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say thank you so much for inviting me. I really do appreciate it. It's an honor, and I mean, I guess it's kind of good that I mean, I think it's still a success. But if we have to do it again, that would be great. I'm gonna try to get Odysseus on here. I think he'd be really good with this whole shadow work. He knows like a lot of that stuff. So I think that would be a good, way to come in to this whole topic as well. So I'm totally game for another one. Thank you so much. It's been really good.
Thanks, man. No, I really appreciate you coming. Adam, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. And sorry if what I say comes off harsh. I was, what helped me get sober was being an AA rigorist. And for the guy in the chat that says what I just said was harsh about people not doing AA, it's like if you're obese and you wanted to lose weight by going to the gym, and then you just went to the gym and sat in the lobby and watched CNN. That's what they play at gyms. And then you left, and you're like, "Whoa, I'm not. Why can't I lose weight?" And you left, and you're like, "Yeah, that gym didn't work for me. I gotta go figure something else out." That's
You're watching TV in the lobby.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
great point.
Hey,
But yeah.
Adam, you know what, dude? This is a thing. This is a special group of people, and you know what? As long as I'm sure you weren't too harsh. I didn't hear it, but dude, you're welcome back. And dude, I'm really sorry for all the technical debacles, man.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me, guys. And my podcast should be back soon. Are we doing plugs? Deborah Gets Red
Deborah
Pill.
Gets Red Pill, dude.
I'll be back soon.
Everybody go around and do your plugs, please. I'm going to stay on the line, Occult.
Yeah, where's the best place to find you, Adam?
Yeah, Deborah Gets Red Pilled, wherever you get podcasts, and then on Instagram. And then if you want to follow my wife and I's homestead, it's called Rising Tide Homestead. And that's way more fun of a Instagram. You can see all our animals and our farms.
I thought you were on Rockfin, Adam.
I am a Rockfin reject. The guy who owns Rockfin, for some reason, really did not like me and said that my show was not profitable and that I was not welcome on his platform. So
God, we need to do a show about that.
you're better off, Adam.
So, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm just gonna say, please support Adam. Deborah Gets Red Pilled is a great idea for a podcast. And when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, that is pretty cool. He has to convince his mother-in-law these various conspiracy theories.
I think it's freaking hilarious.
That's good. I like that idea.
Great concept. Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to be on there a few times, and I've had Adam on digging a couple times, and I love when Adam's on with Jack Allen too. Jack Allen's another great guy that is pretty cool. But I just wanted to say, just support Angry Tiger on his Substack and through watching these shows and everything. And I'm on way too many shows right now, so I'm not even going to bother plugging. So
Chris Graves on the Ocelli Network, right?
Yeah, now I'm gonna. It's Ocelli.com. That's the regular one, but I'm with TMP, like with Mr. Tom Cooper and everything. We do.
So that's the New Prisoners Project? Or
No. It's just the network. It's just Six's platforms. I'm on the New Prisoners now. I'm fully plugging. I'm on the New Prisoners the show itself. I'm a contributor, TMP, on the live stream on Fridays, but Six is gracious enough to let me do a whole bunch of shows, and he posts them for me on the TMP Rumble and Odyssey and things like that. And I got a whole bunch of shows with different people, including Mr. Tom Cooper, who I wish was able to get back in here. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
so this is a
everybody
great
check
show,
out
guys.
Conspiring with Tom Cooper at 8 p.m. on Saturdays, Chris.
Yeah,
Conspiring. with
conspiring
Tom
with now it's conspiring with Mr. Cooper. Everyone says the same.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
It's a goofy take on that TGIF show from the '90s, hanging with Mr. Cooper, because I'm pretty goofy. But yeah, that Saturday night's going to be a big thing because we have a lot of people showing up on that one. So
I think that was
I
on
was
the
not invited.
WB. I think that one was on the WB, Chris, not TGIF.
hanging with Mr. Cooper wasn't Channel 5, ABC. It could be. I could be wrong.
Adam, please show us your puppy. I think my heart is stolen. I need to know the name of that puppy. My goodness. He's getting
This
a
is
dog.
The greatest post in the world, too, dude. That is the way to fight the New World Order. I think you get it a little bit, right?
this
Oh.
little Tweety right here.
Aw.
He's a good
What-
guy.
What's his name?
Tweety.
Tweety.
I
Oh,
love it. I like Tweety Bird.
Yeah.
Can you see Franco? Are you watching us?
No, but if it's the same puppy he posted on Twitter, I think I know. Beautiful, beautiful yellow lab. Is that what that is?
No, a little baby Chihuahua. So
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. No, that's a different puppy. Then.
Yo te quiero, Taco Bell.
yeah.
I always call them taquitos.
oh, Ginger says thanks for the invite. Kudos all and stay safe.
Bye,
Tom-
Ginger.
Tom says thank.
We
Tom
love you,
says
Ginger. Sorry, Ginger. We're gonna do this again. It was a debacle technically, but we tried and we pulled off a show, right?
Hell yeah, we did. We've got audiences all over the place. It's awesome.
That's
Tom-
one thing you can say.
Tom
you
says
know,
thanks,
we're
Frank.
the Tigers Den, and I'm a Nick- I don't give up. I don't give up easy.
That's
I,
right.
I love the challenge here. But we got a minute left. Did everybody? Nicholas, did you get to plug? Plug Nicholas.
oh
plug.
yeah.
It's just search my name on YouTube, just Nicholas Peter Ugero. You go to my about, and then you'll be able to see like a bunch of links. I'm on like BitChute and Odyssey, and I'm on Twitter. And if you just search Nicholas Ugero, you're basically gonna find it. There's no other person with that name. So it's basically it. Pretty simple. I haven't made anything in a while. This is the first time I've really been up on anything for a few months now, but I'm trying to get back into it. Hey, Adam, what was the name of the your Instagram for the homestead? My girlfriend Lindsay's in the comment section on OP's channel. She's asking.
Oh, sweet. Hi,
Rising-
Lindsay.
Rising Tide Homestead. All
Rising
one word.
Tide Homestead. And then what's the do you have like a separate Instagram as well, or what was the best way
Yeah,
to
just
like,
at Deborah Gets Red Pilled.
Deborah Gets Red Pilled? Perfect. I appreciate that.
Tom Cooper says thank you, Frank.
There you go.
Let's go for Anne.
Brother
I'm
Tom.
I'm nowhere. I actually just spend a lot of my time trying to catch up on all of the podcasts that you guys do. And I appreciate it. I learned so much. It's kind of hard to always catch you live, but I try to go back and, go through and see, catch up with things in between time. And I do. I learn a great deal from you guys. So I appreciate you. So.
No, we appreciate you, Ann. And I think
Definitely.
OP, is it okay? I think it's time to close out.
Yeah, so I'm a cult priestess, cultpriestess.com. I do lots of things. Please find me. Okay. Yeah, we're ready to close out. Thank you, Angry Tiger.
Thanks.
Excellent. Let me do my normal closeout. I'm on speaker, right? So people
You're
can hear me.
good. We
So-
can hear you.
All right. Well, number one, everybody who's watching, again, I'm going to reiterate what I said at the beginning. If you're struggling with something, an addiction, if you're struggling with a problem, if you're struggling at looking at all this stuff that we know about, that we're privy to, and it's destroying you or it's hurting you, and you're having problems coping, remember, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there who care about you. Care about yourself. You're special. Everyone is special. Everyone has the power in them to heal themselves. So I want everybody to have that hope within them. And I also want everybody to remember, time is your most valuable commodity. Try not to waste it. Cherish it. Use it wisely. Spend it doing something you love, with someone you love, improving yourself, or preferably all three of those things. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Tiger's Den. And until we meet again.
All right, that about does it. All right, so that's good. I guess we're gonna have another one coming up. So I'm excited for that because the DSCC is gonna be able to join that hopefully. So I'm gonna get in communication with Angry Tiger and make sure I figure out what the date is. I already know Odysseus is welcome there, so that's gonna be perfect. He's gonna have a lot to bring to that. I'm gonna also have his book. I forgot to bring it. It's at the office right now. But anyone that's watched this, thank you guys so much. Anyone that gave it a thumbs up, I very much appreciate it. Of course, anyone that's gonna watch it in the future, thank you so much for checking it out. I thought it was pretty good, pretty valuable conversation. Just getting some feedback from people and some things that they've done in their own lives. Different perspectives. It's always good. It definitely gives you food for thought. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.